I didn't plan on making a video today, but Mommy had other plans. While it was teased throughout the show, Mommy did finally make her return. During the main event of Monday Night Raw this week, you had Zelina Vega and Rey Mysterio in a mixed gender tag match against Dom and Liv. Now, Dom originally didn't want anything to do with this match, but as usual, he ended up giving in. They have the match, and boy, Dom and Liv end up pulling off the win, and then right at the end, Liv and Dom start to celebrate. And I want to be very clear, Dominik went in for the hug. He decided it was worth celebrating. He was excited. He was happy. They kind of roll to the ground, and Liv pulls him in for what they're about to kiss. And then all of a sudden, Rhea's music hits. The place explodes. You get the best faces you could have asked for from Liv and Dom. Liv goes running out of the arena while Rhea just storms in. Rhea kind of chases Liv out a little bit, but ends up turning back, goes into the ring, faces Dom, says multiple times, "Mommy's back." And then when Dom goes for the hug, like, "Hey, I missed you," Rhea storms right past. And then they had some exclusive footage afterwards showing Rhea continuing to storm past while Dom was trying to slow her down and talk to her. She just wasn't having it. Naturally, the first thing I wanted to do was talk to you guys about it. So I put out a tweet, I threw it up on the YouTube community tab, and I want to see what you guys are thinking. Let's talk about it. Subscribe on YouTube or follow on X, or both if you want to be in a video like this in the future. Orion says, watching on the USA Network, you could tell the segment was cut off. Having to go on social media for the final 20 seconds of a show is a little annoying. It's a small pet peeve I have, but it makes me even more excited for the Netflix deal. The return itself was fantastic. The return really did feel just perfect. Like, you kind of knew it was coming throughout the show with the tease, Damian on the phone call, Damian later in the show saying that Dom's gonna find out on his own. It was it wasn't a pure shock surprise. It definitely became an expectation by the end of the show just from the teasing. But it still hit like $1 million. It was fantastic. As for the final 20 seconds being cut and there being more information online, there was an additional segment that was only available online, and it was Liv peeking through the curtain, seeing the engagement between Dom and Rhea, and you assume from behind that she's watching in fear. But the reality is she turns around and you see her laughing and smiling, making it very clear this exact moment was the plan all along. That was the moment that it hit me that Liv didn't actually start developing any feelings. And to some of you, you might say that was totally obvious, but you know, we're all different. And I kind of got bought into Liv just kind of, you know, being into Dom and also wanting to take everything from Rhea. And I kind of got blinded to the fact that she could just be completely faking it. And that look at the end when she looked back at the camera, and this is only available online. This was not on TV, so feel free to look that clip up. But it's very clear that she was planning on this. This was a full intent. She doesn't care about Dom. This was to get at Rhea, and she was watching through the curtain as her plan perfectly unfolded. Botched Booker says, Liv and Dom looked like Rhea was the second coming of The Undertaker. This feud is going to be fire. Yeah, we were talking about that just a second ago. The look that they were giving, that pure fear, it was so well done. It really did have that look of an Undertaker belt. Like, it reminds me of WrestleMania 40 when you look back and The Rock was just suddenly the fear of the Undertaker actually being there. That is what it felt like. As soon as that music hit, it didn't matter that she hadn't walked out yet. Dom and Liv instantly got hit with the, oh crap, we just got caught, or we are screwed, or all of the above. It was a great moment. It Be Wandon says they should have held it out one more week, then let Rhea confront Damian about everything that's been going on. Why? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not even trying to hate. I just, why? What would make the difference of it being next week? If anything, I think it needed to be this week after, let's face it, Money in the Bank, it was very controversial. I am someone who still enjoyed the show a lot, and you know, I'm not really someone who has as many complaints as others, especially if you watched my review video, but there was a lot of negative energy coming from that Money in the Bank show, especially with how good NXT Heatwave was the next day. Shout out to all of you that forced me to watch, not forced, but convinced me to make sure I watched. Even though I was busy that night, I made sure to watch it at the end of the night. You guys are awesome. But what I'm saying is, Money in the Bank had such a bad taste in our mouths that I think a Rhea return, I don't want to say it cleanses that or makes you forget it, but it gives you that immediate shot of satisfaction and excitement right after an iffy weekend. But what do you guys think? Was the timing kind of weird? Did you like it? Gene said, I'm one of the biggest Liv fans on earth, and I'm ecstatic to see Rhea back. This feud is going to be something special. Rhea is going to be a different beast. I think this feud doesn't just expire at SummerSlam. I think this is a WrestleMania build-up level rivalry. Bookmark it. I actually said something very similar maybe about a month ago, something like that, where I said that this build between Liv and Rhea would end up being WrestleMania worthy, so I'll have to go bookmark that one as well. But I think you might be right. I really want to know how they're actually going to approach this. I'm feeling also pretty confident that we're going to get this at SummerSlam, and I'm very happy about it because I'm going to be at SummerSlam. And even though I've been to a handful of shows now, I've never seen Rhea wrestle live, so I'm really rooting for that. But maybe we get something at SummerSlam that isn't for the title and it's for all this heat that's going on, and then maybe we get some sort of a return. Maybe they have Liv hold on to the title longer. Maybe she avoids doing a title match with Rhea or something. I hope it's not a feud that goes on from now till WrestleMania. I'm really hoping that the actual title opportunity maybe at WrestleMania, but I feel like a title would almost feel weird right now. This feels like a blood feud. This feels like this is personal. So putting a title on it kind of makes it feel a little bit off for me. But maybe they'll write it in a way that'll change my mind. WrestleHook says Dom intentionally costs Rhea the title at SummerSlam, turning on the baby faces Rhea and Priest to go join Liv, Finn, JD, Carlito side of the faction. I like where your energy's at. I don't think I agree. I don't think it would go that way in particular. I don't think Dom is going to get to the point where he officially tries to turn on Rhea. I think Dom is going to end up spending the next few weeks leading up to SummerSlam trying to win Rhea back. I feel like it's going to be a lot of Rhea being like, how can I ever trust you again, while she's trying to focus on Liv. And I mean, maybe unintentionally cost her because he's been doing a pretty bad job helping whoever he is trying to help in these women's title matches recently. But yeah, I don't see him just saying screw it to Rhea. It doesn't feel like where we're heading. Jay says, I was hoping she would go straight for Dom, give him a huge slap across the face, and then leave. I'm kind of with you. There's a little part of me that kind of thought she would maybe hit him or something like that. But you know, it is what it is. It seemed like she came in with a more, she's been hurt, she's disappointed. So maybe that's part of the idea of building her up as a babyface, making it clear that she's the victim in the situation and that she was the one screwed. I don't know. I could be overthinking the way they're approaching it, but yeah, it would have been cool for Dom to catch a slap before she left. Hunger says, I think that Rhea will treat Dom like he's inferior to her, and Dom will realize he prefers Liv and will turn on Rhea at SummerSlam. Then Dom will leave the Judgment Day, and then Liv will also try to seduce Finn. And then Dom will lose interest once he isn't the number one priority to Liv and come running back to Rhea. Long-term booking. I see where you're going. I see the path, but I want to make a tweak before I buy into it. I don't think Liv likes Dom. That's where I'm sold. After seeing the segment that I did after the show, I am making sure to calculate that I don't think Liv actually is interested in Dom whatsoever. Where I think you're right is that I think Rhea will not take Dom back. I think Dom will continue to try, and what I think would be really juicy and really satisfying for those of us who enjoy rooting against Dom is that when he says, okay, Rhea doesn't want me back, he goes and turns to Liv, who just kind of laughs and says, no, dude, I didn't actually want you. And then Dom is just kind of screwed, left in the middle, and I don't know what you do with him there. Maybe he goes back to the Judgment Day. They don't want him, something. Where it goes from there, don't know. But what I would really enjoy is if it came out to Dom that Liv wasn't actually interested and he's just kind of screwed for what he did. Chaotic Old Boar says, perfect timing. The next month of building to SummerSlam will be unmissable. Yeah, I've missed Rhea, man. Having Rhea back on Raw, it feels like a massive missing piece of the show is back. And same thing with Seth Rollins. Those are two pieces that were such major parts that now that we've got them both and we're starting to build to SummerSlam here, this month feels like it's going to be extremely exciting, and it really feels like we have an excellent SummerSlam in the horizon. John says, I have only been watching for around a year and a half now, and ever since I started watching Rhea Ripley as this mommy character, she really has become one of my faves. I'm so happy she's back. I can't wait until she reclaims her title at SummerSlam. I'm happy for you. It sounds like we've been watching wrestling for a very similar amount of time. So yeah, both of us kind of gravitated to Mommy, and who wouldn't? I'm not going to say I'd be unhappy if she won it at SummerSlam. I just hope the title isn't what gets addressed first. I kind of want this, the title mixing in with the personal stuff just feels a little off. I don't think the feud needs the title yet. I mean, it's almost like you could say Rhea could be taking everything back that Liv took, one thing at a time, but that would include her maybe taking Dom back, which I don't really want for her. I think, you know, she can do better kind of mentality, but who knows? Maybe we'll get some sort of alignment of Priest and Rhea leading up to SummerSlam, where they leave Judgment Day and kind of have a little bit of a baby face. They're the Terror Twins, right? That'd be cool if they ended up together. Not like together, but you know what I mean. Burn says, I think vacating the title was the right move. It allowed the title to keep building prestige. Yes, it took a hit when it got vacated, but at least it was able to be built back up. Also allowed this Liv storyline to cook and give her a title reign. Plus, it gave Rhea and Buddy a chance to get married, spend some time together while they both rehabbed. Now this Liv versus Rhea feud has a lot of momentum building into SummerSlam. Yeah, I saw a lot of hate for the title being vacated and saying like, well, Roman left with it all that time. Well, yeah, everybody complained when Roman wasn't around with it. And everybody complains when Logan's not around with it. So now they finally make sure the title stays on the show, and there's still people complaining. I don't know, hard to please everybody, but I'm with you. The title staying on the show, I feel like, was important. Then it didn't feel like Rhea needed to hurry back, because where's the title? She was able to do what you said, get married, take care of herself, get a very earned break, because I have not seen her take a break since I started watching, and I know she's been consistently active since before I started watching back at WrestleMania 39. And I even think Becky winning the title through that battle royal was actually a good thing, so Liv could win it off of a person and actually defeat someone with high prestige, instead of it just being that Liv won it in a battle royal and, you know, she's the lucky winner. No More Hero says, I lost my voice when I heard This Is My Brutality, and I'm so happy she returned on the month of my birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah, me and my fiance were watching, and we were just so ready when they were starting to like kiss in the ring. I think we were like holding hands. If I remember correctly, we were like squeezing. Like, oh my God, this would be a perfect time. Imagine if they're about to kiss, and then boom, the music hit. We probably woke up our neighbors, if I'm being completely honest. We probably got a little too loud, but it was such a well done moment. It really proves that that moment didn't need to be completely unpredictable to be beautiful. They literally teased it throughout the night, and it still hit perfectly. Et says, I think Damian is going to end up leaving the Judgment Day. With the tension between him and Finn and Dom, I think Liv is going to end up as the new leader of the Judgment Day, and Rhea is going to get left behind alongside Damian. This is kind of where I'm going to go back to my Terror Twins idea from earlier. Wouldn't it be cool if Rhea is out of the Judgment Day and Damian's out of the Judgment Day, and they're kind of a pairing? They literally were calling themselves like the Terror Twins, and they were trying to be like a duo when they both had the title after Mania. So it would be cool to actually see them get to, you know, fulfill that. Finn and JD liking Liv is already believable, because she was the one who set up the match for them to get their tag titles. And Dom at this point is just going to end up being desperate. So if I'm wrong about Liv saying I'm not interested, I mean, who knows? Liv could still just keep lying to Dom to take the Judgment Day from Rhea. So yeah, I think you might be spot on here. I kind of like it. Overall, I'm extremely happy that Rhea is back. I'm so happy Seth Rollins is back. It feels like we're back in a really big swing and hit. And then we get the Wyatt family, and there's just so much going on. I would love to know what you guys thought of the segment. Anything you want to talk about wrestling-wise, just throw it down in the comments. I really appreciate you watching. I will see you guys in the next one. And thank you to the patrons flying up the screen. See ya.